I actually created a quick little checklist cheat sheet, and I'll put this link in the chat as well. Let me grab it. Actually, really good documentation from Claris, just involving setting up the Google service account portion. We heard from Zandon some of the negative concerns about service accounts that you should be aware of. They do grant, you know, domain-wide access. So when you are creating them, like he said, every user in that domain, you essentially have access to email on their behalf, or manipulate their email. Basically, the outline for kind of incorporating this is how I would go about doing OAuth, transition from SMTP to OAuth. Usually some prep work would be, determining what number of SMTP calls you're currently performing in your solution. Uh, if any of those are via Google, obviously you're going to want to make note of those because those would be scripts that would need to transition to the new OAuth process. It's also important to note that if you're not using 20 or version 23, then you won't even have this step, so it doesn't apply to you. And the SMTP won't, I mean, you're going to have to find an alternative solution, and that probably means you're going to be going with the API direction. Luckily, Claris has made this pretty simple. There's only 3 things that we need. Probably the most challenging part of this is doing the service account. So if you have a client that likes to do all the security permissions themselves, it may be a little bit of a process. Or if they have IT staff and this is something they're very comfortable with, this is basically an outline of how the document I just provided works in terms of creating that service account. And Claris provides us with a bunch of images to make this a little bit easier for those of us who like images. This is their blog here. You still have to enable the API. So in addition to doing the service account, you still have to enable settings for supporting the API. And in this case, it's the email API, right? Because that's what we're doing.